We're talking Group H now here in our Sportingbet World Cup videos. We're celebrating the fact we're giving away up to £100,000 in our World Cup group giveaway. All we're asking is you get the 1-2 right in all of the 8 groups. Get that right and you're bang up for contention. You pick up a 6-figure sum in July. Sounds tasty to me, Mark.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We're looking at Group H now, like I said, and the strong favourites in this group. 11 to 20 odds on favourite, and that is Belgium, a team who've come from, well, nowhere 4 years ago to be the second team of pretty much every human being at the moment. Everyone is talking about Belgium. They're replete with some extraordinary players. Are they the real deal, Mark?
I don't think they're the real deal. I think they're definitely on the way to being one. 500 to 1 4 years ago to win the World Cup, which is quite staggering when you consider how much that price has contracted now. I think they're 18 to 1. A little bit like Colombia, they're the kind of supposed dark horses from last year. They never were dark horses when you look at their squad. 5th favourites now, ranked 5th in the world. It's a golden generation that's grown up together. It's all starting to come together for them, or at least it had done until sort of October time. The last 4 games they've not won, they've drawn 2 and lost 2. Hadn't qualified for a major tournament since 2002, but they breezed through qualifying in Scotland's group. They won 8 of those 10 games, finishing 9 points clear in the end and unbeaten, kept 6 clean sheets, but only once they scored more than 2 goals in a game, which was quite surprising. I thought. Great draw in terms of opposition and where they're playing the games as well. Their longest flight from base is only 35 minutes, which is very handy in a country the size of Brazil. Avoided the northern heat as well. A squad littered with top level experience across all aspects of the squad. A little bit susceptible to pace, and especially at fullback, where they're going to be playing 2 centre halves. Fullback, of course, Jan Vertonghen of Spurs and Toby Alderweireld of Atletico Madrid there. They've not really ever got the best out of Eden Hazard as well, which is a bit of a concern considering the season he's had at Chelsea. He's rarely produced, and also the loss of Benteke as well for injury is a big loss. Lukaku doesn't hold up the ball quite as well or fit the system. Compilers are leaving nothing to chance, 11 to 20 to win the group, 4 to 1 to win all 3 games, I guess would interest quite a few people at that price. But with Germany and Portugal lying in wait, I think 27 to 20 they could be out in the last 16.
Yeah, it's a good shout, I think, definitely. Russia playing their first World Cup for 12 years this summer. They're 2 to 1 to win Group H with Sportingbet. Obviously, under the tutelage of Fabio Capello, who, let's be honest, did a poor job. He was in charge of England in the World Cup 4 years ago. Do you think he can get more out of his Russian players as he could his English players 4 years ago?
You've got to think so. He's an outstanding coach, and one failure doesn't make his career a complete mess. He's still an excellent coach. He's quite happy with the draw, also the location of his team's games. They're avoiding the hot weather as well. But they're not really a big tournament team, are they? Apart from the Euros, when was it?
2008.
They're outstanding, but they've not really performed ever since. And the current squad's looking a little bit over the hill, quite old and ragged. The focus is more on 2018 when they host the World Cup. In qualifying, they won their group, of course, but they did lose twice to Portugal and Northern Ireland. Very bizarre. But they did concede as well to 3 lesser teams after 90 minutes, so concentration issues there. They're well drilled, though, almost exclusively from the domestic league as well, which is quite unusual. Didn't concede 2 goals in any game during qualifying, but that centre-back partnership of Ignashevich and Berezutski, it's just not good enough. They're going to need a lot of protection. They're really experienced, but serious lack of pace could be exposed, especially when they come up against Korea and teams who will play with pace. I like the midfield. You've got Denisov, Shirokov. Zagoyev's lost form, though. A lot's being expected of Alexander Corcoran, the new bright light. Scored 4 goals in 7 qualifiers. Look out for him. They're not necessarily a bad team, but I think they've been given a little bit too much respect in the prices for this group. Korea beat them in a friendly in November. The pace will be a big concern for Capello. They're 10 to 1 to finish bottom, which to me has legs in this group. 2 to 7 to qualify is no appeal for me whatsoever.
Wow. Interesting. Well, you mentioned South Korea in that piece. Let's talk about South Korea. They're next in the betting at 9 to 1. Mark, they seem to appear in the World Cup every 4 years. They're always here, and they've done reasonably well in recent years. I think they've got the last 16, 3 of the last 4 times they've stepped onto World Cup soil. How do you rate their chances in 2014?
They're quite a bit of an unknown quantity, really. It's their 8th successes World Cup now. Bit of a subdued reaction to qualifying as well, because they put in a string of really disappointing displays. They lost to Iran 1-0 at home. which nearly ended their hopes, and they only ended above Uzbekistan on goal difference by 1 goal. They needed results to go their way on the final day as well. Former boss Choi Kang-hee was axed after his sort of long ball game broke down. Disastrous at set pieces as well, but they seem to have gone back to their sort of fast attacking style now. All action display. Hong Myung-bo is now the new manager. He's breathed new life in restoring that pace game. Got quite a young squad as well. Song Hong-min from Leverkusen's had another outstanding season in the Bundesliga. He's one to watch out for on the flanks, and on the other flank, of course, you've got Lee Chung-yong. That's what they'll do. They'll try and get the ball to those wingers, get behind defenders and pull the ball back. But quite interesting, I was looking into their squad as well. They've got their top domestic goal scorer is nearly 2 metres tall. He'll probably be on the bench, but look out for him when he comes on, Kim Shun-wook. They're still quite naive and a little unorganised defensively. They've got a below average goalkeeper as well. They've struggled to score and create opportunities in qualifying, so it'll be interesting to see if they can rectify that. They will cause problems for teams like Russia who lack pace. The 2-1 to qualify, I think that's a touch undervalued there, so one to look out for.
9-1 to win the group of South Korea, Group H. And the final team we're going to look at are Algeria, who of course frustrated England 4 years ago, that 0-0 draw in the second group game back in South Africa. They're back in the competition here again, Mark. I'm actually hearing a lot of positive vibes about Algeria. Maybe it's just me, but they're as big as 40-1 to win Group H with Sportingbet. Is my positivity misplaced?
No, not at all. I'm one of the fans of Algeria. I love them to bits. Horrible reputation 4 years ago for a sort of gamesmanship, time wasting, super defensive tactics. Didn't really adhere themselves to the footballing public, did they? But there's a real hope and belief about this team that they can upset the odds, and I think they can do it. They've raided the European scene, well, mainly France really, for sort of Algerian descent players, a bit like Ireland did under Jack Charlton. They've got some excellent players in that squad as well. Tottenham's Bentaleb, the latest to sign up for them, but the midfield of Gulen, Feghouli and Taider, who can all, they've all performed at a very high standard in Europe this season. They won 5 of their 6 group games in qualifying, finished top of their group by 7 points, beat Burkina Faso over 2 legs in the playoffs. They were the 4th top scorers in Africa, scoring in every game. Their coach Fahid Halilhodzic, if I said that name correctly, he's quite stubborn, but he's very disciplined in what he does. But they are a lot more progressive from the team we saw 4 years ago. They keep possession well, they'll press teams as well, they won't just sit back and be boring and dull. They struggled for a natural goal scorer, but this season Slimani from Sporting Lisbon's come on the scene. He's top scored in qualifying. Can he step up? He probably can, especially in this group as well. The weaknesses though are clear. The defensive midfield is weak, and the goalkeeper drops regular clangers. The back line lacks organisation. They conceded 6 of their 7 goals in qualifying from set pieces or headers. If they can sort that out, I think that 8-1 to qualify, they're a real runner here.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm putting Algeria in my 1-2 in Group H, that's for sure. I wonder if Mark will concur with me. And Mark's been very down on Russia, so let's see if Russia make his 1-2. Mark, you're 1-2 for Group H in the £100,000 Sportingbet group giveaway.
It's got to be Belgium. I think they're clear favourites. I'm actually going to be backing Algeria to qualify, so why not put them in there? Belgium 1, Algeria 2.
Belgium and Algeria for Mark.